Welcome to the live show.
Hey, everybody.
What are you laughing about?
I'm just laughing at you.
Why?
Because you're funny. You're funny.
What did I do?
Nothing. You're just funny. You're funny.
All right.
All right. Hey, it's our weekly event.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and thank you for everyone who joined us from the Instagram pre-show show.
Pre-show show. We had a good time over there. A lot of people
Yeah.
on there and that kind of stuff, and some of them are hopping over to here, which is kind of cool. So what do we got going in today's show?
We have a bunch of topics. We're going to be talking about some GPS default passwords.
Ooh.
We're going to be talking about some cool projects that
Yes.
some students are doing.
Yep,
and we're going to be updating some information on vaping that came out this week.
Yes,
So
we
we have
are.
a lot of things planned on this show, and again, thank you everyone for joining us.
How can people connect with us?
Well, as always, for those of you who normally watch us, you already know the drill. Again, we love communicating with you, answering your questions here live on the show. Leave us comments. You can tag us on Twitter, message us on Instagram, Facebook, you name it. We would love to get back to you and answer your questions here live on the show.
And most importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Because again, like I say every show, this event is a YouTube live event. It's all about you. So that's what this is all about. So if you have questions, comments, or things that you want us to answer, please don't hesitate to connect with us on one of those platforms, right? For sure. So what do we got going?
We have a bunch of things going. Bye, Big Chungas. Thank you for joining us for the show, but we'll see you later.
Nice name.
I know, right?
All right. Quite the handle. Quite the handle.
So let's talk about some updates.
Yes,
We're going to talk about some new things happening with us. We have something special going on today.
We do.
After this normal show, we are doing our yearly back to school special, which is mostly for parents and educators, but Darren will be hosting the show.
I am.
And he'll be joined with five.
Five. Count them five. Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq. That's French.
Oh, wonderful.
Did you know that?
I did not know.
I know. Candace speaks French, right?
She does.
Our social media coordinator in the background. She just said, oui. For those of you who watch TikTok, all right. So I've invited in 5 other social media advocates and experts in the field from across Canada who are going to be joining me in a very interesting discussion on a variety of different issues that we've kind of identified for this school year, right? That we're going to delve in a little bit deeper to bring to the attention of primarily parents, but also educators as well. I'm looking forward to this discussion, really.
It'll be a lot of fun.
And we're going to be using some of the new tech that you've brought into the company, right? We're going to be using this thing called a Stream Deck. You use it all the time on the show.
No, I mean, yes, but we're using X.
I'm sure some of the people who are watching us right now probably know what a Stream Deck is and all that kind of stuff. So we got some questions.
K Plays, random comment. I got a nude like 20 minutes ago and I got rid of it. Good job.
Bingo.
That happens quite a lot. People just send intimate images they find online, just randomly send them.
Here's something that a lot of youth in Canada don't know, depending upon what country you are, but I can speak for Canada. If you send an unsolicited nude, especially if somebody who's under the age of 18, to a person who has not agreed to receive that nude, then technically you are committing the offense of distribution of child pornography. If the nude is a person under the age of 18.
Yeah.
So, especially for young men who are sending other young people their dick pics without consent, you're placing yourselves in jeopardy by doing that. So, and let's face it, it's rude to send a nude. In fact, we've got a project going on that fact. So I would encourage all the teens that are watching us right now, head over to our website. What's our website again?
thewhitehatter.ca.
Whitehatter.ca. And right at the bottom of the page, we've actually got it's rude to ask for a nude program, which is a picture that you can download right into your photo album on your phone. So if somebody asks you for a nude, you send them that picture, which is basically a legal warning to say, don't ask me again, because if you do, you're placing yourself in legal jeopardy.
Pretty much.
Right? Kind of cool.
We have another question. Okay, Sparrow, I love the cedar hat in the background. I love everything in the background. Oh, yeah, it's right over there.
Somebody caught that. That came about as a result. I was teaching at a First Nations educational facility here in Victoria, and the kids were making traditional cedar hats. So as a result of that, I actually asked one of the students if they would make the White Hatter team a cedar hat, and they did. And you know what? I actually bought it from them. I actually paid them away. I paid them some money for the hat. Just love it. I love the skill that went into it. And I love watching how First Nations in this province are now educating their youth on past practices, right, and skills, making these cedar hats, which is kind of cool. So thank you very much for recognizing that on our set. Oh, and Brandon, we have a new Peppa. What are you doing on our set? Right?
Peppa got an upgrade.
Peppa got an upgrade.
Peppa used to be a soap bottle. Now it is a stuffed thing, and it has a scrunchie on it.
It's got a Visco scrunchie on it. Yeah, Visco. For the kids that are watching, you know what I just did there.
Yes.
Right, kind of thing. So what do we got going?
Also, we're actually doing, we're going to be starting doing some Facebook Lives now.
Yes.
So on September 29th, it's going to be our very first Facebook Live event, and it's going to take place at 2 o'clock. So basically, we're also going to be doing our weekly live show. So that's going to end at 1:30.
So we're always doing those, right?
We're always doing
on
YouTube on Sundays. This special, which we're happening right now once a month on Facebook, and that's going to take place at 2 o'clock. So it'll happen right after.
And we're really diving into this video streaming thing.
So we're doing Instagram Lives before the YouTube Live.
Yes.
And after that's going to be a Facebook Live.
Woo-hoo, woo-woo, woo-woo.
We're live on all the platforms.
Yeah, we love it. Good way to get our message out and share our information that we have to share with people.
So again, that's at September 29th at 2 o'clock, and it'll take place after the regular live show.
Yeah. So what else we got?
Oh, hey, for those of you who watched last show, we announced that we have a app.
It's free.
It's free. App.
It's a web-based app.
Web-based app. It has a bunch of resources that we create on there. It all aggregates it to one central place. So I think the link will be in the description. If not already, I'll make sure it is.
And it's on our website as well.
So download it. A lot of good resources.
We've had over 210 downloads in the past week of teens primarily downloading this onto their phones. It's kind of like digital first aid. You hope you never need it, but when you do, you're happy you got it. And the app, it goes right onto your phone. It goes onto both iOS, Apple devices, as well as Androids. And with a push of a button, it allows allows you to connect with us personally in a variety of different formats. It allows you to connect with all our social media feeds as well. But more importantly, it's got a whole resource page dedicated for teens, both in Canada and now one for the United States as well, where if you're in trouble and you need help, or you're dealing with depression or suicidal thoughts and ideations, or you know a friend who does, we've got a list of all these apps. In British Columbia, we even have the Erase Bullying app. So if you're a student at a BC school and you want to report a bullying incident, with a push of a button, it will take you directly to their site where you can report it. So it's just a really cool way that we've kind of centralized all the resources that are out there for teens to use into one place so that you don't have to go looking for it. And so why not download it onto your phone? You hope you never need it, but when you do, you're happy you got
great.
it. Right? Kind of a cool app. And it's free. It's free. It costs you nothing.
Free as well.
Right? What else we got going?
Also, for those of you who watched our last YouTube Live, we announced a video we published, which was our cell phone parkade,
That was a
which
great video.
is fantastic for students and teachers.
Yeah.
If you're a student and you have a policy in your classroom where you have to put all your phones to a bin in front of the classroom, it's not a very effective method. So what we're going to be doing is that we published this video that shows teachers how to build this cell phone parkade. And even better, that very parkade that we built, we have a special announcement.
Yes.
We have a special announcement.
Before we do that, hey, Rosa Hicks. Hey, guys. Sorry you're late. You know what? Good to see you're on watching right now, though. Hey, how you doing?
Thanks for joining us.
Let's have a look at that video.
We have a special announcement.
Here we go. Here's the special announcement.
Hey to all the teachers in YYJ.
Good looking guy.
Down here with the White Hatter. And what we have right here is a classroom cell phone parkade that Brandon and I have kind of put together. And actually, we just did a YouTube video on this that is going to be available on our site to show schools how to design and make these for well under $100. And it's just such a great idea in order to manage cell phones in the classroom, be it elementary, middle school, or even high schools. So we're actually going to be giving this one away. This is the one that we built to do the YouTube live event.
It was fun putting that together,
to
right?
show people how to build this for under $100. And all the links to all the products that you see here, how we've designed it, will be right on that video as well. So if you're a school here in YYJ, Greater Victoria area, or any other school in the province who's interested in having this for your classroom, please send us an email. The caveat, however, is that if you're a school outside of the Greater Victoria area, you'll have to pay for the shipping and handling.
For obvious reasons, right?
Yeah.
But if you're a school here in the Greater Victoria area, Brandon and I will be more than glad to drop this off in your classroom. So to enter the draw, we're going to be drawing the winner on our YouTube live event. So Brandon and I, we run a YouTube live event every
this one
Sunday
right here.
What we're doing right now?
1 o'clock.
Kind of what we're doing
so
right now.
just go to YouTube, put in the White Hatter, you'll see us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll do a draw. So any school who wants this, send us an email to contact@thewhitehatter.ca. Again, that's contact.
There's a comment from OK Sparrow. Looks like the White Hatter has hair.
Put your name into a make a draw.
Troll guy in the
Whichever
background,
school
right?
wins, we'll deliver it free for you to use
kinda
this
funny.
new school
That's
year.
kinda funny. Yeah,
We'll probably make the
Thanks,
draw,
OK Sparrow, for that comment.
Probably at the end of September sometime.
Okay, let's X out of that.
All right.
So again, if you're a student, a parent, or an educator, especially here in YYJ, and you think that your class may want this, send us an email. We'll put you into a draw. And if you're here in YYJ, Brandon and I will come and deliver it personally. We'll deliver it personally, right? We had a really good time with that project.
It was a fun project.
Right? So, yeah, we're actually going to talk more about cell phones in schools a little bit later on our 3 o'clock show that we're doing a little bit later. What else we got going?
Just a reminder for all those of you who just joined us, please engage with us in the comments below. We'd love to answer your questions and engage with you. That's why we're here. I see the chat is going really fast right now, which is fantastic. We love seeing that. So thank you everyone for commenting and chatting with us. So we have another section we want to talk about.
Yes.
And we have OK Sparrows just had a comment.
Yes.
My teacher bought something like that from IKEA.
IKEA. I bet you though that it doesn't have the power adapters that we put on it. So not only can you put your phones in there, but guess what? You can also
power it.
Charge them, right? And ours is handmade from us.
Yeah.
The White Hatter made it with love. We made it with love. In the studio, right? Which is kind of cool. Yeah. All right. What else?
Let's talk about this segment. Our, sorry, what just happened?
Or as I like to say, really? Really? What
This
are
is a
they?
segment that we're going to just highlight some stories over the last week that make you go, huh?
Really?
What I want to talk about
Really?
is this story right here. Scammers deepfake a CEO's voice to talk underling into $243,000
Okay.
in money transfer.
What? So like oh, thank you very much, thank you. They pretended to be somebody else with their voice, or what?
Well, apparently, deepfakes, and
Yeah.
we've talked about that in the past shows.
And that was
where-
primarily with videos, right?
Yeah, videos, but I think the real crux of that is AI.
Crux, that's a good word.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Crux,
Right?
that's a good word.
It's where basically artificial technology, you can take someone's face and you impose that
You
face.
just about punch me in the nose there,
Sorry.
you know that. Anyways,
Sorry.
yeah.
You take someone's face and you put it onto like a digital frame and it makes it talk and speak like that person.
yeah.
Well, there's also the same thing with the voice,
Yeah.
where you take someone's voice
Yeah.
and you type out some words and it makes it sound like that's the person saying those words.
Oh,
So what this person had supposedly did is they acted as a CEO and they called one of the people that works for them to say, hey, I need
no.
transfer of this much money.
I can see where this is going.
And they fell for it, and the company lost $243,000.
Okay, so if my boss phoned me and said, hey, listen, I need you to transfer $243,000 into this account, that's probably a clue that it might not be real, right? Maybe go and see the person face
I
to
guess it
face,
depends on the company. If it's a multi-billion-dollar company,
I guess.
that's like pennies.
But wouldn't you think you'd probably just maybe phone just to confirm?
Yeah, but if your boss called and it sounds just like your boss, most people go like, well, that
guess.
sounds reasonable enough.
Reasonable to you, $243,000?
I mean, to me, yeah, that's a lot of money.
What else was in there? What else we got?
Let's talk about some general news stories now.
Oh, here we go. In the news.
This one here. This is an interesting one. Supposedly, 600,000 GPS trackers have been left exposed with a default password of 123456.
That's about as good as a password. That is the password, right? I mean, really? So what happened on this one?
Well, a manufacturer had built these GPS tracker devices, and people would put on vehicles or whatnot to track something, or their pets or whatever. And there's an online portal you can use to log in. The default password's 123456. Now, some people changed them, but supposedly 600,000 were not changed.
You know, and I know that a lot of businesses now that are selling these types of products, as soon as you sign in, they come with a default password already built in, but there's a warning right away to say, okay, click this button now to change the default password, right? Like, I mean, I kind of get it, but at the same time, people need to be smart enough that when they're buying these Internet of Thing devices, that they have these default passwords and that you need to start changing them, because if you don't, they leave access open, especially if you're using an open portal.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay, yeah, interesting one.
Rosa Hicks has this message just saying, I'm watching on 2 different devices. Oh, thank you.
That kind of reminds me of the picture you took at the Seattle airport where I had the 2 phones. Remember that picture that you posted on
Yeah,
Facebook?
that was a good picture.
Where I was talking on 2 phones at the same time, trying to figure out an issue that we were having to deal with, though. See, but who says that people can't multitask? Right? Like, there's a good example of people multitasking using technology.
Thank you for watching on 2 devices.
Yeah, for sure.
We appreciate the analytics.
What else? Good point. What else? This next one in the news is interesting. You know, we wrote a huge article on this. It actually, I think it's one of the most looked at articles on our website, right?
Yeah, it is.
It is. On the issue of vaping, right? And how common we're now finding it. And the belief, I mean, there's still a strong belief out there that vaping is very safe, right? Because all you're doing is inhaling water vapor, so what kind of damage can it do? And, you know, as we mentioned in the paper that we wrote and that you contributed in, was that there wasn't a lot of longitudinal research. And again, what's longitudinal research? Because you're the academic, right?
Research over time, making sure it wasn't just an anomaly you saw at one point, you measure at different times in the year.
Right, so we didn't have a lot of that type of research. Well, guess what? We're now seeing some of this research, and this week there was a fairly significant research paper that came out from the United States that's now showing us that some of the liquids that are being used in these vaping devices, and this was confirmed by the US CDC, the Center for Disease Control, where they found over 100 incidences now in the United States where young people and adults are ending up with significant bronchial lung infections, and we've had a couple of deaths now associated with it.
Now,
Right.
I'm curious in terms of the article on CBC where it says wreaks havoc.
Right.
Now, are they like hyperbolizing that?
Yeah, and did they actually say that? or was it the media that said, raises havoc, wreaks havoc, right? So
Yeah.
that's what's interesting, because as we know, media a lot of times will kind of create these sensational headlines as clickbait. Right, so did the CDC? I don't think the CDC said it's creating all this havoc, but I think what they have done is they're now saying, listen, much like cigarettes, right? When cigarettes and tobacco first became popular, we were all told, they had doctors saying it's safe. In fact, it's good for your health. And then all of a sudden, this longitudinal research started to come out showing us that not so true.
Right.
Well, we're now starting to see this. So, like it or not, the vaping community with these issues, I kind of think is treating this generation kind of like the guinea pigs of the old tobacco generation, right? Because we're here saying that all you're doing is inhaling water vapor, so really it's not going to do much damage to your lungs. But yet we're now seeing some good research coming out saying that it's not so true. Good example. One of the common things that they found in the United States right now with some of the vaping products that are causing some of these issues are juices that are including like vitamin E liquid in it, where once the liquid is vaporized, it changes the molecular structure that when breathed into the lungs can cause some significant issues, right? Yeah. They also found that some of the products that were causing problems were some of the THC laced ones, right? So again, these are issues. These were questions that we had no answers to, and now the research and the science is now showing us that vaping, it's like I said in the document that we wrote, it may not be as safe as what we lead it to believe to be.
I know people, and I still hear today, people say, oh, it's just water vapor.
Yeah. But it's not. It's more than just vapor, right? It's because of the juices. It's the juices are not just water. They usually contain other components that once vaped, which is basically heated up to the point where it reaches combustion, can have a dire effect on one's lungs from a medical standpoint, right? So again, I think it's so important that, especially students, young people, they still believe. And you know what? I posted this on Facebook, and I had a couple of students come back to me and say, "Hey, Darren, just to let you know, some of the influencers in TikTok right now are calling all this medical research a bunch of phooey. They're lying. They don't know what they're talking about."
And what exactly is their background in medical research?
But more importantly, I bet you that those same influencers are probably being paid by the vaping industry. Don't know, just kind of hypothesizing that they're being paid by the vaping industry to kind of promote their product, right? So if all of a sudden issues with vaping are now being identified, it's bad for the influencers who are making money on it, because now all of a sudden these companies are going to be. It is. Right, it's in fact, it's a negative feedback loop, right? So again, we are big as a company. We're big at looking at the good academic peer-reviewed research, especially the good medical research. And with the study that just came out from the United States, plus the Center for Disease Control now coming forward and putting out this huge warning over this issue, it's something that we need to be very alive to as parents and as well as teens, to understand that this stuff, never mind getting addicted to the nic pods, right? Like, the nicotine in and of itself is extremely addictive, right? So, but things to think about. Good article, and just something that we parents and even teens should be more alive to, that it may not be as safe as what people, is it safer than cigarettes? We don't know, probably. Is it safer?
We'll see.
Or is it safe, right? Like the research is showing us there's some things going on. So things to think about.
Yeah.
What else?
Love this article. This article or publication, it was published by Mental Health Commission of Canada, along with other partners, talking about mental health and technology. Now, you put this in the show notes.
I did.
What is so fascinating about this particular publication?
You know what? What's really refreshing about this article is we are constantly being bombarded in the media how technology, cell phones, are causing all these mental health issues, right? Well, we've got some good research now coming out of the University of Northern Carolina last week, as well as the Oxford University out of Great Britain, showing us that no, they're not, right? But what's really kind of cool about this article is they talk about people here in Canada who are using technology to help their mental health challenges that they have, how they're using technology to cope with that disability that they now face. It's such a really, really good report. They came out from a very reputable organization here in Canada that I would strongly encourage everybody to read, to show you that, you know what, technology can be of a huge benefit when used with balance, right? To help people who have mental health challenges that they're facing.
Yeah.
Right. So I would encourage you. Is the link going to be in the YouTube?
The link should be after the show. I'll add the links into the video.
Yeah. So it's just a powerful report, I think, from a very reputable organization here in Canada, talking about how technology can help those who have mental health challenges.
Yeah.
So kind of cool.
Great article.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some breaches.
Oh, here we go.
Breach watch.
Oh, I love that special effect. A little fire.
Breaches. So this one here. This is an interesting
Facebook.
one.
Why is it every week we've got something to talk about with Facebook? Every week. You know, they were the first, they are the biggest, right? And so as a result of that, they're gonna kind of bear a lot of the attention, right?
And they haven't been that great with privacy over the years.
No.
Facebook. So this article came out. Facebook users' phone numbers still online. So apparently a security researcher had uncovered that there was a database online with a huge list of Facebook numbers Facebook users with phone numbers attached to them. And Facebook a couple months ago had removed the ability to search people by the phone numbers.
Yes.
Which was great.
It was.
But this database was published well before that.
Yeah.
So it's a little outdated, but it's just interesting to hear that, you know, if you use Facebook and you've associated your phone number with your account, that document was made public.
And not just Facebook. I mean, you were doing some research this week, doing some open source intelligence work that we kind of do, and you came across a document that contained a phone number of a fairly well-known public...
Wasn't phone number, but it was email.
Email of a fairly well-known political person here in our province, right? We're not going to mention who it was.
Yeah.
But again, this goes to the point to understand that everything that you post online, no matter what your privacy settings, is public, permanent, searchable, exploitable, copyable, shareable, and it could be for sale, right? Interesting comment from Rose Hovey, who says, with my anxiety, I've vaped, but I have since gotten medication. But when my meds don't work, I sometimes vape, but it's every 5 to 6 months. And it's non-nicotine juice I use, but when I'm not using it, it gets locked in a box so no one can get it. You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I know that there are some teens as well as adults who will turn to vaping in order to deal with some challenges that they face, i.e. cigarette addiction. Like I know some teens under the medical care of a doctor are using specific vapes so that they can dial it down to get off of the nicotine addictions and stuff. But again, I must emphasize that it doesn't matter if it's a nic-based juice or a non-based juice. The issue is what's in those juices, right? And are the chemical components that are in those juices that aren't just water, what kind of long-term lasting medical effects can it have on the human lung? And that's what we're starting to see. We're starting to see the research now starting to come out showing us that, yeah, we're starting to see something. In fact, 2 deaths attributed to it in the United States and over 100 cases now in the United States identified by the Center for Disease Control, showing us significant lung infections as a result of vaping. So thank you for sharing, Rose, that very personal comment. I appreciate it, and I get it. I truly do.
Yeah.
What do we got next?
Let's talk about a really cool tech project we came across this week.
Yeah. This one's a cool one.
This one right here. There's actually a video that goes along with it. So basically, some Calgary, so Canadian individuals.
4 of them, right?
4 of them.
All under the age of?
11.
Yeah, they were 11 years old. 4 of them, 11 years old.
Yeah, they're the Canada's Team Robot Unicorns. That's their...
that was their name of their team.
Yeah, and they placed 3rd in a tech innovation world pitch competition.
They were competing against 150 other countries.
I know.
They tied for 3rd. 4 young women, all 11 years old. 4 of them, right?
Yeah.
And they competed, right?
Yeah, here's a video.
Hi, I'm Tito, and we're part of the team called Robot Unicorns.
Right now, we're packing because really soon we're heading down to Silicon Valley to compete in the Technovation Girls
3rd place.
World Pitch.
3rd place. Way to go!
Our App Cloud 9 won 1st place junior in the regional pitch in Calgary. We are the only Canadian team that's going down.
Yes, you
Very
were.
excited. Let's pack.
You know what was cool about these young ladies is they created an app to help teens deal with teen anxiety.
Yeah.
We've got our shirt for the pitch, a white polo shirt with our logo and our
This,
faces
you know,
on it.
again,
That one's me.
we get so
Right
many
there.
people saying,
And then
you guys are
here's
spending too much time on social media and doing too much, it's just bubble gum for the brain. Well, here's a really good example how age 11 girls, young ladies, they became producers, they became creators in creating an app to help other young teens who are experiencing anxiety, right? High anxiety.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool is that? So this is where I think parents have got to get their head around this issue, right? Is that kids are definitely moving away from being consumers of social media, just consuming everything, and becoming these producers, these creators, these change makers, right? And you know, big shout out from here at the White Hatter team to that Calgary team who placed third out of 150 teams from around the world, placed third, tied for third with 2 other countries on developing this app that I think is just awesome to help teens deal with teen anxiety.
Yeah.
Right? Big shout out. Whoop,
Yeah.
whoop.
Wonderful project, and we love seeing that. We love highlighting that type of stuff here on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So what else?
Let's talk about, we're coming to the end of the show.
We are?
Yeah, coming in to the
Boy,
end of the show.
that was fast.
Yeah, we're 28 minutes, so yeah.
Are
half an hour show.
we giving out a handout this?
Nope. So people keep asking us, when are you doing next giveaway? So we do a giveaway on the last show of every month.
That's right.
So won't be of a couple weeks, but keep your eyes out on Instagram is where we post the competition. Candace, social media director, she posts a question, you comment, you can put into the draw, and we'll announce a question within the last week of September, and you enter, and you'll get some White Hatter swag.
Rose just got back to us and said, you know, it's hard to fully quit vaping, but it's been almost 7 months since I last vaped. I've noticed music helps. Right on, Rose. Good on you for weaning yourself off of it, you know, and I would say, you know, if you can get rid of it even more, but, you know, gradually do it and, you know, if the music helps, listen to more music. There's no doubt the research out there shows us that music can change brainwaves, right? I mean, that's why in meditation you hear music in the background. It helps to calm you and stuff. So I think music is a good way to help manage some of those challenges that you may be facing as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone, please, thank you for joining us. Our next show will be on September 15th. Same time, same place. You know where to find us. Thank you everyone for watching, and if you're a student and you think our cell phone parkade would be perfect for your classroom, let your teacher educator know, have them enter, email us to be put into a draw, and we'll announce it probably on the last live show of September, I think.
Yeah, and for everybody who's watching, make sure if you're a parent, make sure you tune in at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today, where we're going to be doing our back to school special in tech, where we're going to be having 5 other experts joining us from across Canada, including teachers, including tech experts, researchers, privacy experts, who are going to be there at 3 o'clock today. So make sure you let your parents know.
1 hour and 30 minutes.
30 minutes from now. So make sure you tune in there. Really looking forward to it. So on behalf of myself, I'm Darren.
Myself, Brandon, and Candace, who's been messaging and commenting, replying to all of you in the chat. Thank you for joining us.
And Beth, who's on a cruise ship right now on her way to Alaska, who's probably watching this. Love you, dear. I really do.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for joining.
Have a great rest of the day.